Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. This is part 4 of our axe run, which, if you remember last time, we took out two... we took out two of the lords. Are they considered lords in this game? I don't know, but we got two lord souls, or at least their shards, that were bequeathed, so I'll take it. Now, between the end of the last part and the beginning of this part, I upgraded one of the two battle axes to a divine battle axe +5, which we're not going to use the knight set just yet. We are, however, going to use this divine battle axe, because next up is the Catacombs, which divine weapons are very good for the Catacombs. And here I decided to test my damage, which 2 swings one-handed, 1 swing two-handed for the hand axe, which, you know, that's pretty good, especially considering it's more about speed than damage. And with the divine battle axe, one-handed took 3 swings. This guy was being a little weird and difficult because he was like kind of semi-shielding. I mean, he was parrying, but we'll soon find out that two-handed it's a 2-shot. So obviously not as good in the damage department, but still usable, and we can have both for versatility because of the Ring of Favor and Protection that we can't take off. Now, as soon as I got the Catacombs pop up, I remembered I didn't have the Sunlight Helm, which we had gone through like 5 easy enemies. I could have just turned around. But I decided against turning around because at this point I know the path. I know where to go. I know where to walk. And so the only thing stopping me is my own anxiousness about walking through the pitch black darkness. And so all I need is a bit of confidence. And the biggest step towards confidence is just saying yes the first time. And so I figured, if I can just go through Tomb of the Giants without light once, then that'll open me up for more possibilities in all of my future runs. So we went with it. And after crossing this bridge, normally I just jump down there to get easy access to the bonfire and skip it, and skip all the enemies. But for this run, since I've decided to take weird pathing in a lot of the other areas, except for Blighttown, I decided to do that here. I decided to go through the way that you're normally supposed to go through, since I never do that. And I thought that this might be a self-imposed challenge, because there's lots of enemies, and it's dark, and I don't know this area as well as most of the area. And there's traps and stuff. But you see it, I see it, we all see it. Two-handed heavy attack is a 1-shot. And all the skeletons have a stand-up animation, which gives me plenty of time to get that heavy attack off. So it was certainly self-imposed. Not although it was a challenge. But we certainly did it. So, can't take that away, I suppose. But we move on, and after getting the bonfire and pushing that lever, is it a lever? Crank? I don't know. But, hello. We normally decide to go into here, take a left, and then pop out there to take those 2 drops, to then take further drops down to where that item is down there, which skips most of the area. But here, like I said, I decided to take an unusual path for us by going through most of the area. Which, if you have watched the entire Axe run up to this point, you may remember the beginning of part 2, where, just like how I skipped the Catacombs, I usually skip Blighttown. And this time I didn't skip Blighttown, and mentioned having a run dedicated to playing the game and taking the pathing that you're supposed to, or at least that I think the devs intended. But, and I had that as part of the reason why I didn't go through Blighttown the way you're supposed to. But I'm going the way you're supposed to here. Why is that? Well, there's 2 reasons for that. Reason number 1, going the normal way here isn't bad at all. Going the normal way of Blighttown sucks. Number 2 reason is the Dark Moon Seance Ring, because we still need to kill Gwyndolin, because one of my self-imposed rules for these runs is kill every boss. And Gwyndolin, as much of a pushover as they are, has a boss health bar, so we need to count it. And here we get the Skull Lantern, which, if anyone is going to drop the Skull Lantern, it's always that guy. Don't know why, but that's nice of him. And now we have that as an option if we want to use it. It's not as good as the Sunlight Helm, but it's an option. I don't know, or at the time I didn't know if I would use it. I ended up going, yeah, I'll use it at the very end. And this skeleton's a little weird, because normally you need a divine weapon to kill him, which obviously he came back here because a divine weapon didn't kill him. But here, a divine weapon did kill him, but I didn't get any souls. And he came back again. And then here we kill him and he does die. So that was a weird, tiny little glitch that didn't really impact anything, but would that be a bug? What's the difference between a bug and a glitch? I don't know. I know the difference between those two and an exploit, but I don't know what a bug is. Like, difference between bug and glitch. Are they the same thing? I don't know, but coming on through, we decided to lure the skeletons back here because apparently they can roll through walls. And if they roll through a wall, you don't have to fight them. And, oh, why? Hello, friend. No, I mean, maybe this is just another case of me being stupid, but I didn't expect an enemy to roll through a wall. Now here, I saw a little light thing just above my head there. And I didn't know if that was something, or if that was just like a piece of the sky. And like, maybe there was like a tiny little gap of wall there that the developers kind of missed. And hello, because I know that that exists in Lost Izalith, so I didn't know if it was another case of that, or if it was actually something. I didn't think it was the Leroy because Leroy's off by the boss. Pretty sure. But in the end, curiosity got me, and I just had to see what this was. So we go back up, and I see it, and I see that it's a summon sign. But I go, is there someone else besides Leroy? Because I didn't remember Leroy being here. But nope. It was. Which confused me. I mean, he's got a cool helmet. He's got kind of a cool great hammer. And the shield healing is nice, but despite all that, the boss here is Pinwheel. I'm not going to summon for Pinwheel. Like, nah. No. Not happening. So I decided to just run on through, and I thought the Leroy summon was here. Because that's where most summons are. And I thought I remembered it being there. But, I don't know, I guess I just misremembered or something, but we go in, we have 5 Estus, take note of that. And I mean, this is Pinwheel, one of the hardest bosses in the entirety of Dark Souls, so of course we have to put on a defensive ring, and we go in. And I mean, it's Pinwheel. It's one of the hardest bosses in the Dark Souls series. Practically undefeated. I mean, what can I say? No, we came in with 5. We ended with 5. Here I took a sip, and then remembered to check this, which Hand Axe plus 14, Divine Battle Axe plus 5, Spider Shield plus 5, though we didn't use them. But it's fine because we had them, so we're going to count them. Brigand Set, all the way through plus 5. Flamestone Plate Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, and 0 sips of the Estus Flask. Except for the one after the fight already ended. And we beat them at level 68 with 32 Vitality, 40 Endurance, 32 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 11 Resistance. And we beat them first try. Which, I mean, it's Pinwheel. Now, it was about here that I really started to regret my decision of coming in without the Sunlight Medal. Or Sunlight Helm. Because I love light. I love being able to see. And, I mean, we had the Skull Lantern, but I decided, as nice as it is to be able to see, we're not going to do it. Because, as comforting as vision is, if I can get through once, I can get through every time. And again, I know the pathing. It's pretty simple. Just go around, take a wide loop left, drop down, U-turn to the right, dodge the second skeleton, take another slide down, U-turn back left, roll through the bones, drop down, and here you get the bonfire. And this is a warpable bonfire. You can warp here. That's nice. Didn't remember that until it was too late and I already made many mistakes. But it was here that I remembered that, I know the pathing up to this point. I don't know the pathing going forward. At least not the specifics of, like, where exactly to go. And so I use my humanity in order to just not die and lose my humanity. And then I spend as many souls as I have in order to have as few souls as possible for when I inevitably die here. And I was looking out and just pining about the idea of being in a different area or I could see, or I had vision. Because that's nice. I love that. It's so good. But here, we look for and eventually find Patches.
Good day. You look reasonably
Not
sane.
for long, man.
What are you doing in
Not
the
for long.
Catacombs?
I don't
Are you
know.
a cleric or something?
No, I wish I was.
No.
Maybe they have a light miracle.
Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine
That I
stash
should
of
leave?
treasure right down that hole.
That I should get out of here? That Nito isn't worth it? But we drop down, and I pick up 2 large soul of Proud Knight. And this is when I realize, because I'm slow, that this is Patch's work. And I knew that before, but what clicked in my head was that that's 2 souls. And Patches gives you twin humanities. Again, I just noticed this now on my 7th run because I'm slow. But that's why I replay these games. But here, I decided to move to parrying, even though I don't know how to parry these guys super well, but we move over to the parry ring, and with 3 attempts. But it's okay, because we get the 4th one, and we get to see a cool, different animation. I later tried this all the way in the kiln of the first flame with the battle axe and that ring. Battle axe has a different animation where you do 1 slash to the side and then you do another slash that goes all the way through, and you do a little spin, and you have that animation whether or not you have the parry ring. So that like slam down animation with 3 swings is I don't want to say only the hand axe has it, but the hand axe has it and the battle axe doesn't. So pretty cool. And here I teleported back because I didn't want to deal with the skeleton bone towers. But we decided to keep going and put this on because the skeleton dogs do a lot of damage. Like, just so much damage. And as long as I stick to the wall, I should be good, except there's a skeleton dog. And I hate it. And I hate it. And it's awful. And here I panicked, and I didn't know which way to go, because I know that you have to go left, but not too left. And I saw the arrow, which the arrow means that you're too far to the right. But then this guy hits us, and oh god, we're gonna die. But thankfully, the eyes in the darkness show us the way to the item. The covetous silver serpent ring. Our beautiful friend. The always reliable that we always pick up way too late because it's in this godforsaken area. But we exit the game because exiting the game resets enemy positions. Thankfully. And we light the bonfire. This bonfire is not warpable. You cannot teleport to this bonfire. But so like I was a little wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to go forward or to go back or to go forward or to die or to live or what, but pretty soon the enemies broke my spirits and I turned back. Which, they got too close and it kicked me up, but sitting down reset their position, so yeah. And I was an anxious wreck here, so I popped this just to have 10 Estus, just as like a little comfort thing. And here I made a horrible horrible decision, because you can teleport to Tomb of the Giants, but not to this bonfire. But at the time, I thought it was worthy to go back to Firelink to get ourselves the Ring of Fog. My favorite ring in all of Dark Souls 1. One of the best rings in Dark Souls 1. I love Ring of Fog. It's incredible. The only problem with it is an upcoming thing that I will come to realize. You may have realized it because you're a normal human being. I, however, am slow and was an anxious wreck, which is not a good combination. But yeah, there was a problem here. As much as I love Ring of Fog, there was a problem here. And hopefully you figure it out, because I didn't figure it out until it was far too late. But moving on, I did use the Skull Lantern to get back here. It broke me. So I will 100% admit that. But here I decided to move into parrying, because I mostly just wanted to see if you could parry a Great Hammer, because I've never seen a Great Hammer be parried, so I didn't know. But apparently it can. Now from here, we had enough to level up, but I decided against it, because I didn't want to go through the bone dog skeletons again, so we just ran on forward. We'll take the one level down. And we had some extra Estus by killing them. So we do that, so we go down to 10, and this is where I realized my mistake. Ring of Favor and Protection. We need that for setup this run. For the Butcher Knife, the Spider Shield, and the Night Set to light roll. But we can't take it off because then it breaks in this game. But that means that we can't have both stealth rings. That's the problem. But I decided with 10 Estus that I would just take the plunge. I have both of these just in case the skeletons come, because I don't have both stealth rings. And with that being said, I will let this fight play itself out. Victory achieved. So I had been very lucky the previous few runs to have very, very good RNG with this fight. I did not get very good RNG this run. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But beat him with the Hand Axe plus 14, Divine Battle Axe plus 5, Spider Shield plus 5, no we didn't use it, Brigand Set plus 5, Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, and 4 Sips to the Estus, because we came in with 10. And we beat them at level 69 with 32 Vitality, 41 Endurance, 32 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat them first try. Now, here, once again, just to remind you, I'm slow. So I decided to ask, you drop down into this boss room, so you can't get back up. So without the Lord Vessel to teleport, how do you get back up? How do you do that? And then I remember that in one of the cutscenes that I usually skip, it shows you that you can't get here until you get the Lord Vessel. And so the game developers thought of things. And again, that's something that I forgot because I usually skip the cutscenes. Once again, I'm slow. I'm sorry. But here we decide to move over to the night set and test how close we are. Because, again, really wanted to just be done with endurance. Which, now here at 43, we could roll with 9 for our main weapon. And Skull Lantern weighs 0.5, so that's 9.5, but nope. So we put one more in, and just hope this was the one. We could do 9.5, but we couldn't do 10. Which, bit of an oof. So I check, 31,000, okay. So let's pop our souls and not Core of an Iron Golem, because we need that, but pop all of our other souls to have enough to get this level. Because, again, I just wanted to be done with endurance. I wanted to move on. And so here we move up to 45. And I was really hoping this was it, because if I didn't, oh, and there we go. 45 endurance. With the Howl's Ring and the Ring of Favor and Protection, and we are fully set up. With the Butcher Knife, the Spider Shield, the Night Set, and then our 2 Equip Load Rings. Which, nice. Now all we have to do is upgrade this stuff, so our weapon does damage, and our armor does defense. But no more moving over to the Wolf Ring to have not 0 poise. No more shifting between things. Like, no more shifting between equipment. Or worrying about anything. Now we're just good. And here I had a humanity, so we decided to just pop it here, because we go to this bonfire a lot. And hey, look at that, it's just like Dark Souls 3. We got 15 Estus. Beautiful, beautiful, and wake up! I have stuff to sell you. I have items to put in your mouth for food and money. Which, while in the process of doing that, I remember the Dark Moon Seance Ring, which is important. Because we still haven't fought Gwyndolin. And we picked this up just so we can sell it later. And we moved over to this set so we can have more stamina regeneration and speed, like attack speed. And with that being said, I will let this fight play itself out. Gwyndolin done. Very easy. Very simple. Not even gonna pick up the loot. Not worth it. Not even gonna swap to the Silver Serpent Ring. Hand Axe plus 14. Spider Shield plus 5, though we didn't use it. Brigand Set plus 5. Chloranthy Ring. Ring of Favor and Protection. 0 Sips of the Estus, because we came in with 15. Beat him at level 73 with 32 Vitality, 45 Endurance, 32 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Which, it was about here that I remembered, oh yeah, we're not done with Anne Orlando, because there's another side boss that we have continued to ignore. That being Priscilla in the Painted World. And so I figured, I'm here, might as well go do that now, just so I can be done. Like, just be done with Anne Orlando entirely. Don't have to come back here for the rest of the run. And that means I'll be able to kill the Firekeeper, to hit the Firekeeper's soul, to hit Orestes to +3. And just be able to move on. So, that's what we did. And something that I've been doing kind of unconsciously, but really remembered here, was that the hand axe has a very good combo. A heavy light, because if you do a light, the first light can hit the enemy and then they can roll back, but the heavy stuns them long enough for you to get a light follow-up off. And so it's got better stun and better damage, with basically no downside. Except, I tried showing it off, but yeah, they died in one hit. And here, Sorcery Great Magic Weapon, in later games, or at least Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, it doesn't say Sorcery, it just says Great Magic Weapon. So, I appreciate the clarity. And again, I tried to show that as an example, but they just kept dying in one hit after that. But, oh well, not super important. And we can move on to Priscilla, which, used to hate her, but now that we've got a weapon with good poise damage, she shouldn't be too bad. So, with 14 Estus, we go in.
Who, what, if
And, hello.
thou must.
And her dialogue was a little weird here, but, oh well, I'll let this fight play itself out.
I expected as much from thee. Why dost thee hurry toward thine death?
And good job, us. Move over to the Silver Serpent Ring to get the extra souls, because it's nice. And speaking of nice, Priscilla is actually a really nice boss. Like, they're actually very enjoyable, as long as you have the poise damage to make her visible. Which, worried for dagger and spear runs, but those come later. For now, we beat her with the hand axe plus 14, the brigand set plus 5, wolf ring, ring of favor and protection, and 1 sip of the Estus because we came in with 14. And beat her at level 74 with 33 vitality, 45 endurance, 32 strength, 9 dexterity, 11 resistance, and we beat her first try. And from here we can head on back. Which we did rest at the bonfire in the Painted World of Ariamis, but for some reason the Homeward Bone doesn't send us back there, even though it says it should. I don't know, it's
So
weird
was
there.
you, was it? How dare you
But
produce a
we
fake
attacked
one at all?
Gwyndolin, so
How did you ever get this far? I shall end your suffering here and now.
so she's obviously mad.
Is the least that I can do.
And if it looks like I just stood there and took that swing and then parried super late, that's because she stopped talking. And when dialogue ends, there's a certain, like, small time frame where you're just not allowed to commit certain actions, and parrying is one of them. But we got a Firekeeper soul. And this bonfire is cut off now. So we decide to take a run on off back to where we first landed in Anne Orlando, because something I learned just last run, pretty sure it was the last run, is that there's actually a Batwing Demon, or whatever they're called, all the way up here. And you can talk to it, and it doesn't actually say anything, but it'll fly you back to Sun's Fortress, which usually not useful, but it was useful there. And after popping all of our poppable souls, besides the boss funds, and spending all of those souls on large Titanite shards, we come back to Andre and have this setup going, which we already got the Night Helm to +3 earlier, but I mean, that's it. And again, this is a lot of numbers. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but I am going to show them just in case you care. Just in case you care about the specific numbers. And even if you don't, all that matters here is this is a very substantial increase in defense, which is going to help us out a lot. Not against Bed of Chaos, but against everything else. Everything that isn't Bed of Chaos, we will be helped tremendously. Because Bed of Chaos isn't a boss, it's, from what I've heard, a Dark Souls 2 run back. With less enemies, thankfully. But just about as bad. So, again, I have never finished Dark Souls 2. I don't think I even got super far in it, but we are going to play it once I'm done with Dark Souls 1. And so, hearing that is a little worrying, but here, we got the entire night set to +6. We didn't have enough Titanite chunks to move it any higher, but here, if you look, there it says 90 to 99, so that's an increase of 9, but here, if you look at the details, 90 to 99 base, but then there's also, so there's that 9 base, but then there's also 8 additional, which is 17 damage increase on paper. Then here, 9 base, 5 additional, that's 14 damage on paper. 8 base, 6 additional, that's 14 damage on paper. I don't have a script or anything, so I'm just hoping this quick math is right. 10 base, 6 additional, so that's 16 damage. And 9 base, 5 additional, that's 14 damage. Again, I'm on the clock here, so I'm hoping I'm getting this right. I don't have time to check. But here, 9 base, 10 additional, that's 19 damage. And then go down, 9 base, 6 additional, that's 15 damage. And then 9 base, 6 additional, 15 damage. 9 base, 5 additional, that's 14 damage. 9 base, 6 additional, that's 15 damage. And then modify to go back to 11, 10 to 11. And we don't have a lot of chunks, but if you look here, 8 base, 12 additional. That's 20 damage on paper, along with the parameter bonus going from B to A. So, big increase in damage and a letter upgrade, which is nice. And then keep going. 10 base, 6 additional, that's 16 damage. 9 base, 6 additional, that's 15 damage. And here, if we had one more Titanite chunk, we would have been able to get the Butcher Knife to plus 15. Just one measly little Titanite chunk away, which, oof. And then here I remembered the Spider Shield. But before we do that, we undo the Divine to bring it just to Battle Axe plus 5. And then we upgrade that to Battle Axe plus 10. Which, you thought we were done with the Battle Axe, but we're not. You may have also thought that we were done with Anne Orlando. That's because I forgot about this upcoming part. I'm sorry, I lied to you, I'm sorry. I forgot. But we head on off to Anne Orlando, where we got to watch the Silver Knight use a great bow as a shield. It wasn't very good, but it was cool. How often do you see that? It was awesome. But here, we go to Modify and Golem Axe. So for 5,000 souls and Core of an Iron Golem, we can move the Battle Axe plus 10 to the Golem Axe, which, as you can see, weapon type, axe. Keep that in mind, that it is simply an axe, not a great axe. But it requires 36 strength and weighs 16. The Great Axe, which is a Great Axe, only requires 32 strength and weighs 14. So the Golem Axe, which is a normal axe, has a higher strength requirement and more weight than the Great Axe, which is a Great Axe. That is certainly a decision. But here we run back and we talk to Patches, because we got one axe, and here Patches sells another, which is 10k. Wow. I thought it cost 4k, apparently not. Well, still, it's an axe, we have the money, this is the axe run, we want to get all of them, and so we decide to buy it. Which, here, notice he had the Crescent Axe, we bought one, and now it's no longer in stock. In the later Dark Souls games, they also do this, but only with certain, like, super rare stuff. Here, they do it with basically everything,
Right.
just about everything, which can be a bit of an inconvenience to the player, but it feels more realistic. It's not super in your way. It doesn't feel BS. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels more realistic in a pretty good way. In a everything has trade-offs way, and these merchants have a limited supply of stock. And I think that's really cool. Even though it inconveniences us as the player, I still think it's cool. And I still like it. Now, as a video game, would I rather have infinite stock? Probably, but can't complain with something being more realistic in a way that doesn't hinder the player very much. But here, hand axe, golem axe, battle axe, butcher knife, gargle tail axe, crescent axe, butcher knife, which I already said. Sorry, I went too fast. But Dark Souls 1 has 6 axes. We got 6 axes, so now not only do we have our entire setup, equipment-wise, we also have every axe in Dark Souls 1, which feels great. And coming on back to Andre, we come over here, 9 base, 12 additional. That's 21 damage increase on paper, which very good damage for a single, just a single upgrade. And 1 Titanite slab, 9 base, 7 additional, an extra 16. Much rare item, not as good damage increase, but still butcher knife plus 15. And we are 1 chunk away from getting the knight set to plus 7. If you're wondering where these extra chunks came from, it's because I went to New Londo Ruins and farmed a few off of the dark raids, which, fun little thing I found, at plus 13, the butcher knife one shot with a parry, which felt really cool at 45 or 32 strength, 9 dexterity. And then I bought the armor smith box just because didn't want to have to come back to Andre for the armor, which I remembered the shield, but you need to modify the shield, so can't do that with the armor or with the weaponsmith box, so not worth getting that because I'd have to come back to Andre anyways. The weaponsmith box not being able to go from plus 5 plus 6 and from plus 10 to plus 11 really hurts the effectiveness of the smith box. But there, I believe that was 5 damage per level, which very good. Back to great sword and hammer days, which I went to the wrong place here. We're headed out to demon runes, which while going down, we got invaded by Kirk, which threw me off because pretty sure I've come down here in human form before, but I've never been invaded by Kirk here before. I know he invades you right in front of the bed of chaos, but here, but he died in 2 hits. Poor guy. It's almost as if we have a really strong strength-based weapon that we're two-handing. Funny how that works. Funny. But we come on down, and locked by some contraption. Which, each one of these parts takes about 2 to 3 days for me. And so, it had been like maybe a week but I thought I remembered giving 30 humanity to the Fair Lady. And this is something that I figured out before too long. So don't worry, we got that figured out. But we're coming in with 11 Estus, take note of that. And Demon Firesage, everybody. This boss is... this boss is repeated 3 times throughout the game. First time as the Asylum Demon, second time as the Stray Demon, third time here as Demon Firesage. Now, all things, or most things considered, I should like Demon Firesage the most. Which, depending on RNG, sometimes I do. But they spam that anime side slash attack with the AoE way too much, and in moderation that attack is fine, but when they do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row, it's just not fun. You can't really do anything against it. The only counterplay is to just run away and then hope they do a long range attack, like a big overhead slam, but whatever. Butcher Knife plus 15, Spider Shield plus 5, though we didn't use it. Night Set plus 6, Hovel's Ring, Ring of Favor and Protection, and 1 sip of the Estus because we came in with 11. And we beat him at level 75 with 33 Vitality, 45 Endurance, 33 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. But moving on, we went back and we re-entered the Fair Lady's Covenant, and just to be safe, dropped like 20 humanity. And it worked. I think that it was locked before because I left that Covenant to join the Forest Hunters, which I normally don't do, which is why I normally don't have a problem, but yeah, I think that's why. Which, Sunlight Metal, or Sunlight Helm, I'm sorry, I've missed you. I've missed you so, but we're here, might as well go do a few things. First of all is Siegmeyer, which I cleared out all the enemies except for one, and normally I run down there and kill this enemy before he can stop, like before he can finish his dialogue. But this time, I thought, he's got this really big sword, that looks like an ultra great sword. Let's see what he can do against this enemy. And so, I decided to watch, but that one attack took over half his health. So I figured I probably have to step in. Which, that really threw me for a loop. One single attack took over half his health. That is absurd. You okay?
Why, you? Well, dear me.
I failed you, what?
I have failed you.
Dialogue is different.
dear little...
Oh, yeah, what? I'm sorry, what? What? I mean, that's how you get... That's how you get speckled stoneplate ring, that's nice, but what? My man took one single attack and crumbled. One single attack and he just died. How are you supposed to be a knight? How are you supposed to go into anything if you can't take one single attack? I mean, I could probably take like 4 or 5 attacks from those guys. And I've got a +6 knight set. Like, this thing isn't even up to where it should be. But I can take more hits than that. What? And I mean, I figured I'm probably going to lose the Titanite slab from that quest as well because of that. Which already cleared out the Pyromancer and Kirk here. And I figured I'm already here, and by far the worst thing about this boss is just the run over here. The run to Bed of Chaos takes like 2.5 minutes, whereas the fight itself can take anywhere from 5 to 20 seconds. That's about it. So I figured I'm here, might as well not, like, might as well just go in and get one of the checkpoints now, just so I have one less run back. Because why not? And I put on the hand axe for speedier attacks, and the chop, and then homeward bone out for safety so we don't die, and thankfully those are saved. The one single redeeming quality of Bed of Chaos is that those things are saved. And 3 damage, that's less than before, but whatever. Moving on. So, we come down to Centipede Demon, which there was Solaire there, which there's normally not Solaire there once we open up the shortcut, but whatever. That's fine, I suppose, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't die. But Centipede Demon, we'll let this thing play itself out. Well, the camera went a little weird there at the end, but it's fine. It should be fine. That shouldn't do anything bad. But 40k, roll through that because we're not putting the orange shard ring on for that. And I think I'm going to skip the area here. I mean, I'm recording the voiceover after, so I know I did. But why are you here?
After all,
Yeah, why? Why are you here?
why?
Yes, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. I opened up the shortcut. Why are you here? That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Beat him with the butcher knife plus 15, spider shield plus 5, though we didn't use it. The knight set plus 6, Hovel's ring, ring of favor and protection, 0 sips of the Estus flask because we came with 10, And we beat him at level 77 with 34 vitality, 45 endurance, 34 strength, 9 dexterity, 11 resistance. And we beat him first try. Which, here, 433 to 434, that's 1 damage. Alright, that's no good. I don't like that at all. We'll do it for the even 35, but I don't like it. But here, if you're wondering why it's just pants, it's because I wanted to put on the Chloranthy ring for more stamina regeneration to get here, like to get back to Bed of Chaos faster, because again, 2.5 minute run back. And like I said, the fight itself can take 5 seconds. So, the Bed of Chaos itself isn't the boss. The boss is testing your patience with a horribly long run back. And no, oh my, I swear to God, I swear to God, I swear to God. You need to perma have your shield up. Now here, it gets very close, so be patient there. And just roll on through here. Break that. Homeward bone back so you don't die. Trying to head back to the middle. And run back again. Ooh. Now, I normally don't talk during bosses, but again, Bed of Chaos itself isn't the boss. The boss is the run back. I'm skipping that because no, and where's the fire? There's normally fire. Ah, there's the fire. There it is. But yeah, I'm not talking during the run backs, and I'm not showing the run backs because no. But here, yep. Like I said, the boss health bar showing up can last 5 seconds. The boss run back lasts a lot more than 5 seconds. I wish it lasted 5 seconds so we could be done with it, but life ain't like that. But wait, why did you do it at the oh. Why do you do this? Why are you like this? You shouldn't be like I don't like this boss. I don't like you at all. I mean, the story is kind of neat from the half of it that I know. But you can die. But kind of neat lore does not excuse this kind of a fight. I would rather have just taken 2 Taurus demons at the same time. That would have been better. Now, again, Bed of Chaos isn't a boss in my eyes. The run back is the boss, and I have a different, or at least this time I had a different equipment set up for the run back and for the health bar. So, not even gonna mention any of this. I died twice. That's the only thing I'm gonna mention. And homeward bones are good. I'll mention that as well. But here, we headed back to the Fireling Shrine. She's not here, so I'm definitely not getting that Titanite slab. That's a bummer, but oh well. Not the end of the world. The night set is still pretty good. But here, I figured this is a good place to end it. We have our entire setup now, which feels really good. We got all the axes, which feels very good. We got the final 2 Lord Souls, which feels very good. Nito, not the best RNG, but not the worst. So we'll take that. Bed of Chaos, not a boss. But you need to fight him, sadly. But we made good progress. Again, it went a little longer than I had hoped because I like to be in the 50-minute range, not the hour range, but don't worry why we're coming here. We're definitely not going to kill an NPC. Don't worry about how our SS flask went from +3 to +4. I definitely didn't kill the fair lady. Definitely didn't happen, but I'm sorry, I can't look at him. He looks like me too much. It's like looking in a mirror, I can't handle it. But we have all 4 Lord Souls. Decide to pop them here so we can go into killing of the first flame to farm up the chunks for our armor set and shield. And besides, we ended part 3 on a big dramatic cutscene. So I decided let's end part 4 on a big dramatic cutscene because part 5 is hopefully going to be the end. Because there's only the DLC and Gwyn left, which means we're also going to end that on a big dramatic cutscene. Which, yeah, I didn't realize until after I was done recording, but there's only the DLC and Gwyn left. I can hopefully squeeze that into less than an hour. But good progress. We got our setup, we got all the axes, we got 20 Estus now. Very, very good progress. And this might be a 5-part series, so, yeah.